blurry, sorry. Alright, it is time. If this is your first time after we finished a video game, welcome. Oh no, my background. Let me fix it. I stopped trying to bother filling in the entire background because it was a pain. Alright. We are going to community review this game, so we're going to talk about what was good, what was bad about this game. I need to turn the game audio off so I don't hear it anymore on my side either. And then, yeah, so let me go ahead and open up the good. Let's start with the good. What do we like about Elebits? If I were to go ahead and throw in some stuff here real quick. I personally, I like the controls a lot. I think it is like it's ambitious in use of Wii controls. I don't know if that's how I want to put that yet, but that is generally how I feel. Yes, aesthetically, it's great aesthetics. Like, just summing it up as a good presentation work. Like, are we cool on the endgame graphics? Obviously, the endgame graphics don't really replicate the world graphics, but thinking about what the Wii can do, I don't know if we'd really see that in like at least a 3D game for the type of video game this is gonna be, right? It is a little plain visually, but you know, also I think there's a lot of technically impressive things about this game that doesn't give me the impression this is like a game that doesn't like look nice to some degree. Let's do something like that for now. Yeah, fun concept. Could we wrap that into the Wii control stuff? Like, because I feel like the concept is well executed for the Wii specifically, right? Like, this is a game that was built for the Wii. It fully executes on what the system was trying to do, and you know, creating you know, kind of new play experiences. I really feel like this game does a good job of that. It uses the motion controls as like a big part of how it feels to pull things around the environment. It's like not just like a gravity gun kind of thing. Like inherently, you were basically using a Half-Life 2 gravity gun, right? But that's actually like a period appropriate comparison there too. But like the motions you're doing to manipulate things and the ability to kind of like move things around by yourself, I think that plays a big role here. So I feel like I want to kind of encapsulate that into just like kind of a definitive statement. How do I want to put that? Well, ambitious and is like using the Wii's strengths like a compliment. Like, is that like something we could put on here? Like, that is what I'm really trying to find the words for, is to kind of sum up that feeling that this is a Wii game that really kind of hits the spot in that regard in terms of creating something in that line. I'm a little... Physics tech is impressive. I think that is something we can do. Physics tech impressively implemented. Impressive physics. We can probably just sum it up with that. I'm gonna hold off on content. Here's my argument with content. Elebits is a game that has a good amount of content, for sure. And, you know, for a full-price retail video game at the time, I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm a little concerned about the quality of that content. Just having an amount of content I don't think is necessarily good, right? Like, I think the content needs to be good content. And I am maybe of the mind that how they handle adding variety to this game, while I appreciate they did it, I don't know if the execution of that was great, or at least it did not lead to me having fun. I did not have fun with the last 2/3 of the game. So I'm definitely, yeah, I don't know if I want to praise quantity. I'm gonna fix my camera because it keeps trying to refocus. I don't know if I want to praise quantity of content if that content was not good content, in my opinion. Maybe you guys feel differently, although I get the feeling you guys have a similar feeling to me in that regard. I could be wrong, but I believe that is the case. And sorry if I've been like going in and out of focus this whole stream. I didn't realize that I was. So, but maybe me being small would have helped. Yeah. I'm really caught up on that Wii thing because I think there's a good way we can probably boil that down to one point, being controls. Like it is a, like in my mind what I'm saying is a uniquely Wii game. I don't know if that is a positive bullet point per se. Because it is very good in that regard. Where's my notes? I lost it. On my side. Obviously you can see it on the screen, but for me actually feeling, I'm gonna put unique. Maybe just great use of Wii controls and maybe it has to be 2 different bullet points. Great use of Wii controls and then also like a strong concept on the Wii. I just don't know how I want to put that, and I feel like that could be 1 point, but we'll stick with just good Wii controls for now. So. I hate just putting great. Maybe just unique concept that uses Wii's, like strong use of Wii's. This is way too long, but let me see if I can just like type out what I feel about this. These Wii remotes strengths. Unique concept that makes strong use of word I want to use here. Maybe just unique and ambitious use. Maybe something like that. I don't really like using 2 lines if I don't have to, but unique and ambitious use of the Wii remote strengths. I think that might sum it up, actually. We'll stick with that for now. All right, did I miss anything else while I was all caught up on the content side of things here? Also, do you guys have music of any sort? Okay, good. Just want to make sure. I don't have any music, but I just want to make sure you guys aren't just hearing pure silence. Yeah. That's 3 things. I don't want to say attempts variety as a strong point. Music. Great music. I am bad at like being specific about music, so I don't know if catchy music is the right word because I don't really particularly remember, but great soundtrack. Let's use the word beautiful. don't like that, but we're gonna use that just to have some variety on here. Unique and ambitious use of the weird remote strengths, beautiful presentation / art style, impressive physics, and a great soundtrack. That reasonable? I would not say that the story is particularly the game's strength. I think the what works most about the story is just like the you know, presentation itself of it. But yeah. I think I feel pretty good about this. Do you guys feel pretty good about these points? I feel like this kind of sums up everything that I personally find interesting about this game. Give you guys a little bit of time, but just let me know if you're good. But I think I am good with those statements there. It is a little short, but also I feel like there's a ton about this game that I would particularly say worked for me. Give it about 10 more seconds here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Varied stages. When you say varied stages, Mr. T, it's fine. The chat is behind. When you say varied stages, do you mean, are we talking about aesthetically, mechanically, like in terms of the layouts and level design? I think there we might need to be a little more specific than just varied selection of stages. Because I think there are parts that I agree with you there. Oh, your last message didn't get through. What was your last message, Alex? Or are you saying some foul word that's getting banned? Variety of settings. Okay. I think I agree with you. The actual physical settings are varied, yeah. I think maybe mechanically there's not a lot of variation, but in terms of the presentation of those environments and the actual locations, and there's a lot of detail to the world, right? There's a lot of like custom graphics for individual things and a lot of like neat little things you can like stare at. There's some water. Let me go to properties here. So let's say like varied and detailed environments. How about that? It's a little long. Maybe to save some space, I shouldn't use and just do slash instead. Something like that. Because we don't have a lot of space to work with. I think that's probably good. That kind of wraps in the custom graphic stuff too, I feel like, as well. So ampersand, that makes sense. Although, does it give me trouble with ampersands? If you don't know, okay, yeah, it does not. So make sure. There's some certain things do not like ampersands, so you have to like double up on ampersands, and then it'll show up properly. But okay. I think this is a good set of good here. So unless there's anything else, I think we can probably move on. If anything, I think about 5 lines. How does this look on the final page? That will fit. Okay, that should all fit on that thing. So I think we're probably as good as we're gonna get. That's it. All right. All right. The bad time. Oh, let me hide the good and bring up the bad. Blam, blam. What don't we like about Elebits? Let me tell you. Repetitive gameplay. I felt like, I didn't spell that right, but I'll figure it out at some point. Repetitive, I don't know. I'll have to correct it at some point. It is repetitive gameplay. For sure. Overstays its welcome. I think we can probably kind of include that between repetitive gameplay and what I want to say is variety, level design, variety can be annoying. Like, I feel like that is the big thing there for me, and I know that's kind of maybe a sloppy way to say that, but I felt like whenever I had to do something that wasn't just throwing garbage around, I was annoyed more than anything. Like, I appreciate that they tried to do something, but in terms of the actual, like what the game was actually asking me to do, I did not confuse. Fair. I don't know if the objectives were necessarily confusing. There was the bucket hat thing with the snowman. I'm not too worried about that. That was like one little thing, and looked it up online real quick and we were good. If that was like a consistent thing where every single time I had to look up what an issue was or what I had to do in a place, then maybe there's a couple things like with the microwave I never really figured it out, but they're also optional, right? Most of the time, with the exception of stage 27, it was mostly optional, so I'm not too concerned about that. I think shoddy execution, I think there's something to be said about poor execution, which is interesting because we do say it's like a really strong Wii title in terms of its concept. Let me review what we said about that real quick on the good. So on the good, we said unique and ambitious use of the Wiimote strength. I think, okay, I don't think that's an overlap though. So poor execution. Maybe instead of poor execution, let's say poor mission design. Maybe let's actually get rid of. Let's just say, let's summon all that on poor mission design. I think I can sum that up as all poor mission design. There's just not a lot of like. The variety that's there is appreciated, but it's just not well executed, I think, and I think that's the big thing. Not as enjoyable as picking up individual grains of sand. Yeah, I agree with you. Let me just leave it at that. I think if I put individual, it starts getting a little too long there, but picking up Elebits is not fun. The homing laser was kind of neat. I didn't really mention the power-ups in the good because I don't think most of the power-ups are that enjoyable. The homing laser, I think, was one of the best ones, but I don't think it's like something that was really super impressive. Repetitive is spelled with a I. It's like, yeah. Okay. How many more lines we got here? We probably got enough space for like 3 more things. There were some frame rate issues. I don't mind this so much, but some frame rate issues. I think it's worth mentioning, but I don't mind the voice acting, actually. I am somebody who has an appreciation for that kind of like storybook voice acting. So unless you guys have very strong feelings about the voice acting being a negative thing, I get why people didn't like it. I think it is maybe like a bit of an acquired taste. You know, I'm somebody who likes the Final Fantasy XIV original voice acting before they reworked that game, and I like that kind of like writing style, like in The Wizard of Oz Beyond the Eldritch Road. That is something I enjoy. So I would not say it was like the best execution of that I've ever seen, but I think I thought it was fine. Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with Mr. T here on that. So I think I agree with you, Mr. T, that maybe the homing beam should have been integrated differently. I don't know if it's really something that, you know, is worth making a bullet point on the review. I had this like strand of hair that's just like not playing nice. But I think I agree with you on that. I think that would have been an improvement probably. I don't know if I want to go in that kind of detail on the actual notes here, just because there's not a lot of space to work with. Do we care about the frame rate that much? I feel like I'm just kind of putting frame rate just because I feel like I have to. Yeah. There's some frame rate issues, but it wasn't enough to get in the way of the game. So let's leave it off that. I think if it was like a consistent issue, but you know, I'd say we could probably count 10 times. So maybe like, you know, few minutes in the hours and hours we played. So in total. Anything else? Is there anything else that really jumped out at me? Not a problem. I think I agree with you. And I think given, you know, the kind of way we talk about games on one controller port in general, it's probably not that worth listening. Mission 27's rough. I'm always kind of not sure what to do about outliers like that. Like, most missions in the game were fine, but Mission 27 was real rough. We got past it, but yeah, it's not. Mission 27 should have been the last mission, is probably what it should have been. I think that challenge would have been appropriate for a final level. We did have the box fall on us, but I don't think there were any other times that we literally had like physics stop us from like finishing a level, right? Watching this Elebits shake his butt right now. You guys can't see it, but yeah, we'll say Mission 27's real bad. Yeah, admittedly, one of the times we had to reset was like due to things, but how about this? I feel like there were parts of that game where suddenly it got hard and then suddenly it got way too easy. And I think we could wrap Mission 27 into that. Like, I feel like there's just like peaks that happened that were not particularly like, it didn't feel like I should be hitting a peak when I hit that level, and other levels too. I feel like some of the ones where you have to like not break things. We say inconsistent difficulty? Yeah, that probably makes more sense. But I'm mean, it would have to go on a separate line. I don't know how readable that's going to be. If we could fit Mission 27 parentheses after that, I think it would make more sense. But on its own line, I don't know if it would really read. That's 4. Is there anything else? I think that probably sums up how I feel about Elebits. I think that's pretty reasonable. Anything else I think would be kind of nitpicking. And I usually try to, I usually try to kind of not pay too much attention to things that aren't that much of a problem. I think the difficulty level thing is a little maybe just barely enough to care. I think Mission 27 is what pushed it over the edge, probably. I think anything before that probably wouldn't have been that bad, but Mission 27 is pretty rough, so. Alrighty. Well, let's head over to this section here. Now it's time to choose a score. Here's my arrow. It's very small. I feel like we should get like a better arrow or something at some point. So, where are you guys at? Where am I at? There you are. Okay. I need to fix it. I keep forgetting to fix the chat so it doesn't reset every time. If I can fix it so it doesn't reset every time. So what Alex and MisterT have said so far is 3 and 2. Who said 3? Alex, you gave it a 3. This is my concern about... This is kind of why I didn't want to do half steps in it, because in my brain now to me it's just like 2.5. Just make it easy, right? Between 3 and 2, and I think it is a game that I would not give a 3, but I feel like maybe 2 is a little too low. I'm somewhere between this frowny face, not really frowny face, indifference face, and then like I wasn't super happy playing. There are parts of Elebits that make me happy, but there were not a lot of parts of Elebits that make me happy. So I feel like it's pretty reasonable to kind of be in between here. The 2.5. I try to use the face as a guide here because it's so visually there. Add columns and move slightly to the right. I can move this whatever. I'll be gone here in a second in terms of me being here, so I'm not too worried about me overlapping. Here, let's do this. Yeah. I feel good about this. You guys feel good about this? It's a reasonable place to be. I don't know if the riddle music is even playing. It supposedly should be. Okay, it looks like it is, but... Alright. Well, unless you guys feel something else. You know, it's interesting, Alex. You just sent that yes message, and it did not show up on my chat, but it did show up on the stream chat. It's kind of weird. But I think we're good. Stamp time? Alright. Stamp time, stamp time, stamp time. Here's the stamp, it never fails. Where's my stamp? There it is. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, so loud on my side. We stamp. No, I didn't get rid of me. No. Blah. Blah. There we go. So complicated. Why do I have to overlay so many graphics on top of each other? The Elebits review is complete. 2.5. Let's check out the Metacritic score for this thing real quick, actually. I'm kind of curious. Hey, it's me. Where is the review stuff? Let's get rid of that. Where's my background? I just need to hide the review in general, actually. Is this not a part of the review graphic? Where is it? What? No, it is a part of the review. Why did that not turn off? Alright. Let's see here. Is this gonna play nice? Probably not. Let me get a browser up here real quick. Hey, buddy. Why are you not showing up here? You guys don't look at that real quick on accident. Whoops, don't look at that. There you go. Alright. Metacritic. Let's see what the world said about Elebits. I'm curious. Hello, movies. I don't know anything about movies. Mr. Corman. 75. We're pretty low on Elebits, actually. For all intents and purposes, we gave this game a 50, right? So, man, as a Wii fan, you think I would be all up on this, but this is one of the ones. It's a shame. I really like Elebits. Well, I don't. Man, I love the idea of Elebits. I don't love Elebits. Let's see how. Man, we are among the lowest reviews on Metacritic. Wow. Wow. Well, you know. All right. While Twilight Princess has been collectively anointed the Wii's top killer app by virtually the entire gaming community, I would wholeheartedly disagree and offer up Elebits as my choice for the best overall Wii game today. The thing is, after playing Elebits, I can fully appreciate all these opinions. Elebits did not work for me, and there are elements of Elebits that I do think maybe under the right perspective you could really enjoy. I did not bother with the level building stuff. Man, probably a rental. I don't know the last time I've seen somebody say probably a rental in a review. But yeah. Anyways, that is that. Well then, us and Electronic Gaming Monthly. I have no idea who VG Pub is. Electronic Gaming Monthly though. I wonder if I like Domino Rally more than Elebits. What did IGN say? There's probably multiple IGNs on here because they have like different regions. If you're looking for a visual stunner, Elebits is not for you. But if you just want a really fun outing that's every bit as original as it is engaging, I think Elebits is your game. This title is destined for sleeper status. What kind of sales numbers we got here? Was this before NPD started covering up numbers? There was a while where NPD actually gave out numbers, but exception 70,000 copies in Japan. I never know what's good sales numbers in Japan, to be honest with you. It's so hard to tell. Yeah, I've only got Japanese sales numbers. All right, you know where that means. We go to, no, that is not VG charts. Don't go to VGChats.com, guys. Elebits. VG Charts website is horrendously slow, by the way. I don't know what's going on with them. It was VGChats.com. Yeah, I don't think there was anything too terribly bad on there, but you know, So if you don't know, VG Chart's not particularly the most reliable amount of data usually. Looks like they don't even have the number of copies shipped for this game, so... But VG Charts is, it was probably, it's like kind of the last resort you go to for looking up game sales usually. So, I don't know. I assume being a launch game, Elebits probably sold okay. I mean, it was enough to get a DS sequel. I think it was a launch game, right? Pretty sure it was. Close enough. November something was the Wii's launch, I believe. Right? Oh, discontinued. Oh, yeah, November 19th was the Wii's launch. So it was a little bit after, but it was a launch window game. I did used to write for VG Charts. Don't tell them I trash talk them. I was looking into, I figure his name is like Brandon or Brett or something like that. They used AIM as their messenger at that time. I hated using AIM. Whoops, I did not mean to click on Yamauchi's page there. Remember this Wii Zapper? The shotgun one? I would have preferred that. I hate the Wii Zapper. I feel like the Wii Zapper is way too flimsy to feel good. This would have been way more expensive though, so. Do you guys want to help me see if my disk drive's playing nice real quick? I know it's already past 9:30, but I wanted to see if Kishin Zenki plays nice, and we'll see. Maybe it'll explode like every other time we play Kishin Zenki, but